Welcome back to another video. Today we have a steering brace to put on a 1998 Dodge Ram 2500. I think it should be pretty straightforward. I'm pretty sure this just mounts up to your sway bar holes on the frame, and this goes over your pitman arm, or pitman arm has to come off and splines go through. So that's what we'll be looking at. This is a kit that I bought off Amazon and came with a bunch of goodies, some bolts, some gaskets, not exactly sure. This is a insert bearing and a nut. So not exactly sure how to do this. This will be my first time, so hopefully I can explain my struggles and see if there's any benefit. This is my 1998 Dodge Ram 2500. It is a single cab. Do not mind the oil on the sway bar. That is just the timing case leaking. That will need to be fixed soon, but we are rocking far from stock links, springs, lift setup. And here is our blue top steering box. So if I recall, from the brace goes in between this and the pitman arm. And I'm pretty sure these go right up into here on the sway bar mounts. Okay, so these are all the bolts and nuts included with the package. This is a bearing that came with a grease zerk. And if I remember correctly, this guy goes through here, or the back side of it, and this screws onto the end of your steering box. They gave you 6 different bolts. These 2 are more coarse and bigger. These guys are thin thread, or whatever those are freaking called. But I'm pretty sure these 4 go into your sway bar mounts. These 2, I take it, go into these 2 holes right here. I'm sure this is the crush washer that goes onto your splines when you take the pitman or the steering box bolts off. So this is what the stock sway bar bolts look like, the ones that mount into your frame. These are the ones that overtake it with the kit. Putting them side by side, it looks like the threads are exactly the same. These ones are just a tad bit longer, but I think they're a tad bit longer so you can throw a washer correctly on it and a lock. Keep it snug up on there. So doing that about makes it the exact same size. So we'll go ahead, we'll get the rest of these guys out, drop it down, get this mounted. So sway bar is down. You guys can see that. I don't think it matters which you take off first, the sway bar or the nut that goes onto the steering box, but 4 of them are off. I think, well, I know the 4 long bolts they give you are for the sway bar. So I'll show you what way to put the nuts on, or the washers and the lock washers on it. So I put the big one on first, put the lock one over it, and once ready, put them up through. This guy off right here. What goes on the back side of the splines coming out the gearbox. Once this comes off, flip that over the splines, put the bearing and this thread it through, tighten it up, torque it, and get these bolts all through in that one. The socket we're using for the bolt is a 1 inch and 5/16, and we're adapting it to a 1/2 inch. So something like this. Here's the adapter, big boy, ready to go. And at the end of the video, I'll list the torque specs of what the bolts should be too. Here's our hose. Ready?
Yep.
Here's the bolt that comes off and is replaced by this guy. So I think they're the exact same size, which is good. Here is the existing lock that we're going to be replacing with this guy. It is off. I'm sure you guys will not have a problem with your pitman arm falling. because those things are basically freaking welded. So yeah, then we'll fit this guy up there and see how it is. Figured out this is what screws on to the threads on your strain box first, and it's followed by this to go into there. And this guy is not supposed to spin freely in here, so on this bearing there's Allens that you tighten down onto this to keep it from slipping. So we'll get that in, and then it should set right there on the member. And after we get these bolts in, we'll go for the swing bolts. This is supposed to fit onto the truck like so, and this dip down right here. So you're gonna want to put the bearing on the bottom side because the shaft's too long for it to be right here. And my dad brought up a good point on putting the bolts to the top side because gravity, if for some reason the nut comes loose, you won't lose your bolt first. Yeah, so we'll get this guy snugged up, sat up there, and we'll get those 4 bolts and we should be finished up. So at first I told you guys to put this lock on the outside, but unfortunately that's not going to work. So you're going to want to keep it on the middle, so this spreads the load because the hole size right here is a little bit too wide. So we're going to go ahead and get this fitted up. The bolt that we put on the pivot, if I can find it, that's what she said. And make sure that it's on there. Start some bolts so it stays on this side. Start right here. Sweet, and just like that, you're ready to put the last bolts in. Oh wait, never mind, I did this very wrong. This goes up first. Technical difficulties. Forgot to put the swing. This is a one-man job.
Doesn't look like I'm gonna
That
attach.
wouldn't make any sense though.
Oh my god, are you okay?
Shit. Did you get that on video?
Yeah.
Last one. I need to hit my tape. That's for sure. Quick pause, and we'll be back. And just like that, it is on. Bolts right there. Back of the bolt right there. This guy. Make sure you tighten down these Allen's keys to clamp it onto this. And those guys are on. So with the sway bar, what we were dealing with was figuring out how this fit up because we were trying to fish it behind here, but apparently it goes right in there. There's plenty of clearance if you can see that. Yep. Make sure you torque everything. We are almost to the end of the video. We got the brace on, bolts in, torqued up. If you're interested in the torque values, I don't remember them off the top of my head, but shoot a comment and I'm sure I can reply with what they're supposed to be. So now we're gonna go drive it, see if anything changed, and get a couple clips. Tightened up, now we're driving it. I can already feel that it is tighter. I feel like there's more connection between my steering wheel and the movement of the truck. I think another thing that this steering brace was supposed to help with is keeping your gearbox from going bad and making it last longer. So I probably put around 1,000 miles on this blue top steering box that I already bought last summer. And I just wanted to make sure that it doesn't go bad, because who has $500 plus the core charge to get a new one every 2 years? So I think overall it's a good investment. I only paid like $80 for it. 2-hour install max. And overall, I think it was worth it. Thanks for watching.